Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I actually have my desk and everything because I wanted to do my work in the living room instead of in my office. It feels like it is so cramped because there are four computers in one office room and yeah, all these projects. Um, oh yeah, that's not my car. I'm thinking it's my car with the sound with the alarm going off. Um, I kind of ran across a couple of bumps while I have been out. I went to another part in Indiana to go and put up a food pantry distribution box. And I went through so much stuff. It was so hard to get in this area, even though it's desperately needed. Um, Whew, a lot of work, y'all. And then out of the blue, man, I'm telling y'all, I had so many things that happened to me. Um, I lost one of my relatives due to um, mental illness and addiction. So this whole weekend has been heck. My mother does not know that this has happened. Everybody, we was just so shocked because it was just I hadn't seen, and this is one of my cousins. I hadn't seen her in a minute. I thought she was doing fine. I never knew. Um, yeah, I never knew. So it was just a lot of people didn't know. You know, they knew it was a couple of struggles, but they didn't know it was that deep. And it reminded me of what my mother told me what she went through before um, the incident happened um, with my sister and later on with my brother. So, um, yeah. Um, so I had to deal with that. On top of that, I didn't really get to record. I got to record a little bit, but it was so much restriction and so much friction there. I literally had to recharge. On top of that, my car broke down, y'all. The car that I had, and I was gonna flip it anyway. It wasn't a bad car, but all of a sudden I was on the highway, booming down the road, halfway to my destination, and my car literally just started going slow. And I'm like, well, maybe it's a charge, maybe it's something like that. Well, no. Got stuck on the road, y'all. I mean, my insurance, Progressive, I want to roundhouse you, okay? Um, I think I've learned my lesson by taking certain things with, skipping out on things. I might have to go back to Allstate because Progressive gave me the worst news ever, and it was the same coverage that I had with Allstate. I think I would probably pay that extra $5 a month for the same exact thing because when they say you're in good hands, I was in good hands. I never had this situation happen to me, but when things happen close like this, I was able to be okay. So, anyhow, get there. I'm out there for 3 hours, y'all. I was out there for 3 hours. They kept saying they were sending somebody, did not. Kept saying they were going to send somebody, did not. Um, and I literally, yeah, had to go back. But the serpentine belt was messed up. That's what it was. It came off. It wasn't torn off, but it came off. So, um, yeah, that's what happened. So now I'm gonna have to go and do some stuff like that, do some work like with that. But that's okay, no biggie. Um, oh goodness, no worries, no biggies. Oh, goodness. After that, I had to go back home. Well, I didn't have to go back home. I went back to that area until I ended up going home. And my family members took me back home. I was so really ecstatic. I was surprised, because I could not get an Uber in that area. It was just so, yeah, it was like a desert. So whoever drives Uber in that area, like, look, they would make a stupid killing. I almost said, you know what? I should start taking Uber trips that way. And keep my payments and my money and things like that. Yeah. So that's what I had to deal with. Dealing with losing a loved one, to mental illness and addictions, and it's just deep. Not being able to put that food pantry up. I didn't get to record enough to show what a food desert really is. Because I don't know, like, the area that I live in, they say it's certain places with food desert that it's not a food desert here. It's not a food desert here. Do I think it will eventually get there? Possibly, yes. Take a little bit of time because people really are hopeful in that aspect, and they have a lot of land to farm and grow, whereas a lot of urban areas don't, and they are penalized by doing it. So, yes. I also came across some things, and I noticed some things that were transpiring in my life previously that I accepted, that God showed. I didn't even know that was happening. That God showed me in my life that I did not need. Okay. Sometimes I'm gonna say this: everyone wants to be loved. Most people want to give love. The way you interpret love depends on how much you receive, the kind that you receive. Okay, because someone can show you love, and how their opinion or their view of how they show love is by giving, making sure you have your supplies, the things that you need. They're not good at emotional things like that, but they make sure that you have the adequate things that you need. Other people, they show their love by expressing by a lot of hugs, a lot of everyday motivation, things like that. Some people express their love through giving you knowledge to apply to your life to make better. It's a saying that, teach a man how to fit, you give a man a fish, he can eat for one day, but if you teach him how to fish, he can eat for a lifetime, okay, or a long time. That is how some people show their love. Now, if you are a person that is used to having someone to motivate you and to walk you along the way and show you step by step process, and you come across someone and you really like them and you're into them, and they're the person that's going to give you the knowledge and step back and teach you, and now you have to do it yourself, then you're going to have a tough way of receiving it. And you're going to have an even tougher way of receiving love from them, even though they're showing it by their actions and how they're doing things, by their way of expressing what love is to them. Because we're not perfect, we're not God. If you're a person that likes that baby steps and you're going step by step, and people are feeding you every day, they're doing everything, you don't have to do anything, you're going to think that the person that is giving you, the things like right off the bat, that is love, versus someone who is analytical and they want to learn the process, and they're used to being trained on getting the process because they know what it is about the lifetime, being able to do things for themselves. Someone giving them constantly it's going to deplete them. They're going to say, well, that's not love, because if you really want to teach me or love, show me, if you really love me, you're going to show me that process, so I can be able to do that for myself, and then I can show it for others, So, and it does not necessarily mean that that person that's constantly giving them the stuff does not, it doesn't mean that they don't love them. They're showing their view of love. So that was something that I had to learn. Because you will run over and you will hurt a lot of people if you don't understand the facets of love and how people show love, and how based off of how you show love is usually, if you don't train yourself, if you don't work on it and understand, the different facets of it, how you're going to how you're not going to be able to receive the love that is given. You miss out on a lot of the opportunities that are given. I think that was something that I had to learn, even with my family. One thing I was just like, dang, like they don't support me, y'all. Like, and it seems like, and I know with my grandfather how we got so. I was really, really close to my grandfather, and I know that my mother was a daddy's girl too. She was very close to my grandfather. I was close to my grandmother. I lived with my grandmother and everything, but I was closer to my grandfather on my mother's side. And how the things he used to be so tough. Some people were like, Bill, you are so hard on yourself. Like, you're so hard on yourself. But that was how I learned what love is to me. What love is to me. I had to be analytical. I love the hugs and sometimes the kisses sometimes, but I don't like it to the point where it overwhelms me. Sometimes I feel a little weakened, not vulnerable, but weakened, because for me, I know myself, and I've seen the growth that happens when I get up and I try and I do things and I apply myself, and it works. And I keep going. Even when it doesn't work at the first time, if I keep applying and I keep doing it, I see myself growing. I really do. So for me, even I did have people, even the relationships that I went through, a lot of those men, a lot of those people really loved and they really cared for me. They would just drop out of the dime, give me a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm not that type of individual. Doesn't mean that I don't appreciate, don't mean that I don't like it. I love it. Okay. Having that whole allowance, all that other stuff, I love that. But I have to find out, I have to get out in the dirt. I have to get myself dirty. I have to apply things. And that doesn't mean, physically getting dirty, but I mean, I have to get out there and I have to apply myself and use my brain. I've been taught and I've been trained so much to not look on looks, not look on appearances, not look on just the connections, to use your brain and to capitalize and to maximize the fullest potential of what you can do. Giving me stuff and making me just relax too much will make me feel crippled, and it will get me to a spore point. Like, I see that sometimes, so yeah, for me, it was very difficult in finding what love is if someone's always giving you. Or if someone, another thing was people being like kind of like those influential kind of influencer kind of people. They have that influencer dynamics kind of approach, and they're really out. Most people think that I'm really extrovert, like extrovert. I'm definitely in between, but I used to have trouble dealing with those types of personalities, and I used to get really upset with that, because it felt like exploitation more than sometimes to influential. You can cross that line, and for me, those type of people, sometimes I try to stray away from at all costs. Some of them are not all, exploitive. But a lot of the people, especially in this system, a lot of the people who are publicized are they are. So even though, I do believe in expressing and getting things out, I try my best to stay away. Away. Um, y'all, these contacts is awesome. They're like jet black. Really like them, y'all. Match my shirt. Black. It's so funny that people are so cool. I know this is off subject, but I think it's so cool that people think that because if I wear jet black contacts and I'm walking down the street, people don't go and ask, "Are these yours?" They still tell me my eyes are beautiful just because they're big. You have big eyes. People are like, oh, but when I come regular without these contacts, people are like, your eyes are so pretty and they're so, beautiful. Are those yours? And it's like mind constructs. But anyhow, yeah, back to what I was saying. You just really have to learn people's love language and accept it for what it is. People are not going to always be what you want them to be. And you have to be okay with that and accept that process. Accept that process. A lot of things when I left, I didn't understand how I knew that my mind was shifting. And I always talk about how my mind is changing and I'm so grateful for it. I did not understand how much my mind had changed, y'all. My fingernail broke, both of them, these two. So excuse that. But anywho, y'all probably wouldn't even know that until I brought it out. But whatever. That was another thing that happened during this whole issue out here. So while I was out there. But anywho, it's for good cause, whatever. So what did I say? Oh yeah, how my mind changed. When I went back into that dynamic, I started seeing some things that looked like issues and I would have thought before were issues, but I see they're not issues. They are lifestyle choices. They are lifestyle choices that have become a conflict, and when you have lifestyle choices that are conflicts, that is because you are unwilling to change. You are unwilling to shift into the right positive dynamic. Okay. You are unwilling to change. You are unwilling to shift. And when you're in that situation, which they teach us in mental health and they teach us, in psychology, that you cannot change anyone's, you could regroup and change how a person think, but you can't change their decisions overnight. And it has to be that they want a change at some point. You have to have a change at some point. If you have no changes whatsoever, you can't get to another result. You can say something. That's just like you said, I want to walk, but you never get off the couch to stand up. You have to do something, or you never look at what it takes to walk. You see? and if someone never wants to do that, that's on them. So yeah. When I went there, like I said, I would have been wrapped in that. I almost was engulfed in it. I used to be engulfed in it. And I used to have so much anxiety. And people like, you didn't have anxiety. My cousin literally told me that I did not have anxiety when I used to be younger, when I used to have panic attacks, y'all, because of just all the crazy stuff that used to happen. I used to just like, it's so much craziness that happened in my life. I was just like, I know anything is possible. That's why I say anything is possible. Anything is possible either way. Good or bad, negative, positive, whatever you want to say, if it's good, positive, whatever. Both sides of the spectrum, anything is possible. And I literally witnessed that. And because of that, it can send you into a shock because you're going to sometimes extremes. And that's what I was seeing. I was seeing a lot of that. And because of that, I was able to catch myself and retract. I was able to catch myself and say, okay, I see the situation here. What can I do to this to make this situation better? Can I change some of the things that are happening? No. Am I going to be able to change the other people's dynamic that could make the situation a lot better because it can change their mind frame and let them help them to focus on what they need to focus on or things that they can do? No, because most people, when they're in a lot of mess and a lot of toxicity, they ruminate. You ruminate, and I'm no different to that. Okay, I had to catch myself, and a lot of the times that while I was there, I had to catch myself and say, "Wait a minute, you got a bigger goal in mind. You got to retract that energy that you're spending. You're wasting on there with dealing with stuff that you cannot change. It's festering. You're feeding something that's not feeding you. You need to save your energy and give it to something that is more able, that's going to feed you in the long term, so that is literally what I started doing. I started retracting, and I was like, since I was in the situation, I felt like I was a kid again because I couldn't literally get up. Well, I could have went to a hotel, but I was already struggling, stressed with the car, and I'm like, if I do this and get this hotel, the stress and the burden of dealing with all the extra stuff is going to get to me. And it's going to hurt me. It's going to hurt me in the long run. So, I took some time out and just started grasping myself and calming down and getting myself, like I said, getting my spirit ready. Dealing with my dog. I had my dog traveling. That was the worst, because it wasn't the worst because she was there. I really love her being there because I could snuggle with her and all that other good stuff. But when my car broke down, I could have easily got on like a Greyhound, paid 20, 30, 40 bucks max and got back home. Well, since I had her, and Greyhound has this policy where they don't allow animals to be on their things unless it's a service animal, even though she's only a 6-pound dog. I wasn't able to, go and ride. So it's like, oh my gosh, this was horrid, because I could have been out, bang, bang, boom. I'm out, I'm gone, no worries. Yeah, so, and that didn't happen, which is cool. But like I said, I saw the growth, because had I not, I would have been ready to fight. I would have been just in the whole turmoil. I would have been in so much. And you don't understand the power that you really have in something until you get out of it. And I was like, afterwards, I was just like, God, thank you for delivering me. I thought that this was a curse. I thought it was a curse, but it was a blessing. It was a blessing, because now I get to focus. I get to choose, and I understand the power of choosing and using my voice and using my energy and using my power on the things that I need to do. And it's okay to step back and retract from things. Another thing I got was, and it really hurt me. And I'm going to be truthfully honest, because I know there are some people out there who are going through this. Okay. I had a person that used to be a friend to me, very, very close to me. We do not speak anymore. It has been years. It has been over 7 years. My family knows why we don't speak. They know what transpired, how I was humiliated, how I mean, this was just to the end. I'm trying to be as vague as possible without giving you without going too deep in it, because I don't want to feel like I'm still not over the situation, but it still hurt. Okay. Now, I had this friend. We were very, very close. Like, knew her family. She knew my family, like, really close. It got to the point where I was going through an issue and she was there talking. When we got in, we had this breakup, right? We had this breakup. When the breakup happened, and this happens a lot to a lot of people, okay? Because when I went to the therapy sessions and the things like that, I found out that that's literally what happens. Um, where I, when we had the falling out, you're thinking that it is going to be a cordial, you be okay, you go your way, I'm going my way, just like it's crazy. If you turn in one way, I'm going this way. It's We just part ways. Well, it didn't happen that clean and that easy. It was a lot of scuff marks, and it was a lot of putting. Literally, she just put out all my business, literally, and just made ridicule. So I'm sitting there, and not only that, just said things about me, how I look, just things that you don't say as a friend, and to say something like that, that was holding in, that you thought about that for a long, 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 long time. So with that, I had to take a lot of time to heal from that. Um, okay, so they know this, yet and still, and this the only reason that they have this friendship is because they know that we are friends. Okay, so instead of that, I had to downgrade my life. I literally had to refocus, get myself together. And instead of letting that friendship, peel off, I'm not saying being mean to that person or anything, letting that whole thing die off and just separate that way. Instead, my family has chosen to sit there and still have a conversation with this person after that this person has dragged me in the dirt, after you were not friends. I can see if you were friends. These people are older. They were never friends with this person that was my friend. I have some relatives that are my age and around my age. So yeah, and they really didn't have that much, no connections with her like that. You seen what she said about your relatives and things like that, and yet you're still this person's friend. That is hurtful. That is hurtful. But at the same time, I was just like, okay, you can that's fine. You have your choice. Everyone has a choice. So I don't want you to deny that, because I really did think she was a good friend. I really did think she was a good friend up to that point. And then after that, God started showing me, okay, then that was the separation. But not only are that I don't have any affiliation with this person, you're still trying to bring this person up in my life. Oh, well, you talk to, what's the name? You seen this person and that person, and I don't talk to that person. You know exactly why. You know exactly why. You know exactly how brutal this person was. And literally, you're still talking to this person. And then not only that, you want to tell me what's going on with their lives. I don't care. I don't care. But it's just like, you took all that time, and this would really hurt me. I just want to ask this, because I put that question on, what would you do? It's like almost like a slap in my face. What would you do? Like, you seen this person drag me in the dirt. I literally almost had a breakdown dealing with the relationship that I was in. And this person just made it even worse. This person has attacked me. This person has done these things, and yet and still you're still talking to this person. And not only that, you've taken the time out to find out what's going on with her life, and to tell me, like, okay, well, she's being pregnant this time. I don't care. If anything, why can't you take that same energy that you're trying to find out about her life to find out what's going on with my life and how I'm feeling? But it didn't happen that way. And I was just like, dang, like, you can't say that this person was around you, because this person lives in my area. They're like 2-3 hours away from you too. So, but you took that time to find out what's going on with her life. but didn't take the time out to find out what's going on in your family member's life, and then this person has done all this stuff. Like, what was the point of you even telling me all this stuff about her? I don't care. Like, so I was just like, was this attack? Was this to make me feel like, okay, you're not doing anything? Like, it was just, y'all, and it's on so many levels. And I don't, if anyone else knows, I do not have any children. I have an issue with that. Long story, yeah, medical issue with that. But it was just like, why? Not to say that I hate the girl, I don't. But, and my issue is not even with her. My issue is, excuse me, my issue is something over here. Sorry, you guys. My issue is, I'm sure that girl's not even studying either any of y'all. I'm sure she's not going out of her way to tell you her business. And if she is, kudos for her. But I don't think she really is going to tell her business. But you literally found out, and you sat, even if she told you, you sat there and you listened and you tried to find out. Yet and still, you still haven't tried to find out what is going on in your own family members' life. The people that you say that you care for, the people that you say that you love, and you would never let anything happen to them, and you care about their emotions, and everything around it. So it's just like, I felt like I said, I felt like it was a slap in my face. It felt like it was a slap in my face, but it also made me feel okay, because it was confirmation that I needed to get away. I did not, and not to be angry or hurtful or bitter to anyone or anything, because it's not even on that level. It's just, like I said, if you're in a lot of toxicity, you're gonna be like that. You're gonna be like that. So, but I can't say it didn't hurt. But like I said, this ride, this whole thing, it was just confirmation. Excuse me, it was confirmation as to how my life is and what is going on, and why I'm grateful, why I'm grateful for every single step. Every single step, y'all. Yeah. I'm glad I actually got that off my chest. And the crazy part about it is, if I look back, and I was doing this yesterday, when I look back, that has always happened in my life. If I got into it with somebody, some people can literally, out of their way to ridicule me and say crazy things. I had one guy, literally, when we was in high school, and this is so funny, when we was in high school, I was supposed to be considered, he made this whole newspaper, like a high school newspaper for students or whatever, and he had put this ugly duckling list. And I'm sitting here, now we was all cool. I was cool with him. When he got beat up, then all of a sudden, I'm an ugly duckling. And he put it in a whole list. And I'm sitting here like, okay. And instead of my family like, oh, that's messed up, because they were cool with this person, we was all cool with this person. They literally was just like, cool with it, just okay. But anytime you need somebody to lay hands on somebody, anytime you in a fight, anytime you in a jam, they're calling me. But anything good, they're not coming around. So you like, dang, like, what is going on? Am I that type of person? Okay, so step back. And listen, the crazy part about that part is that when later on they still was cool with the person and cool with their family, and I was telling them, no, they're shysters, they're this. When one of my relatives got real cool, still was cool with the one person that was all, ready to fight me, saying all crazy stuff. And she ended up taking advantage of her. And then all of a sudden she wanted everybody in the bandwagon to jump on her, oh, well, she did this and everybody should be mean. No, well, what happened? Because you it was the same thing that happened to me, and you nothing, you know. Oh yeah, by the way, if anyone, especially any teenager that is listening to this, I pray if you think that you are not beautiful, don't listen to that, because that same guy, that same overweight plus size guy, and he know who he is, and all his friends, the same ones that was talking about me, the same ones that be in my DM every single doggone day. They got other people that I know that they go with, and they in my DM talking about, hey, beautiful, and all this other stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I was an ugly duckling, though. I thought I was an ugly duckling. This ugly duckling turned into a mother-loving swan. Well, you know what? I look like the same. If y'all see my kids' picture to this picture to my high school picture, I look quite the same. I mean, you look older as far as your face getting older that way. But even with this, the raccoon, everything. So don't feel bad. People sometimes are really upset and angry with themselves, and they will be bitter, and they will be mean, and they will be cruel. Okay. Some people that's all they've been taught their whole life, is to be cruel and to one up someone, you know, and for them to not be the target, they have to make someone else the target. Instead of standing up and removing themselves from the situation or anything like that, they have to pick on someone else. Don't feel bad. Don't feel sad. Don't feel like you gotta hide in a corner. I used to do that too, and just get away and try to, you know, cover myself, at least just to, okay, whatever, going on about your business. I never really, in my head, I never really thought that I was, you know, that kind of thing. But don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you. Family don't let it get to you. You are beautiful. You are wise. Any guy that's listening to this, you are handsome. You are wise. You are great. You have great potential. Don't let anything or anyone stop you. That was the main thing that I learned during this whole time. It was like so much that I got. I was just like, dang, you know, that's deep. You know, I remember when people used to talk about me with, oh, you shouldn't be wearing all that makeup, blah, blah, this. Y'all look at them now, y'all. Look at them now. They all got all the makeup that you got and some. They will wear the same hairstyle, same eyeshadow. You got too much. You look like a clown with rainbow hair, with rainbow eyeshadow, and with this and with that. And guess what? Guess what they're gonna do? Guess what they're gonna do? Yep, that's right. They're gonna try to imitate you by all means, and not try to give you credit. Look, and not try to give you credit. So I wanted to bring that out, like. That was the reason why I had that topic, and I was like, what would you do? You know? So yeah, I'm going to get on here and I'm going to get on here and I'm going to call my mom, because I didn't get to call my mom either for a couple of days. Every time I would try to, it was like the atmosphere was so down and so depleted. I did not want to protrude that energy off. And my phone just kept going out. The signal was going out in certain places. My signal is slow right here, and they're building a 5G tower here. It's right here at the park. So I know people are going to be real tired and bottled down because of it, but whatever. Yeah. Look, yeah. I'm going to go and call my mom, and then hopefully I can talk to her, because like I said, I didn't get to talk to her for a couple of days, and I actually miss my routine. I miss talking to her. I miss having that peace. I miss it all. I really do. Wow.
Richmond State Hospital. Please wait while I transfer your call. Richmond State Hospital.
Hi, I'm calling for 420 Unit A.
428?
Yes.
Okay, hold just a second.
Thank you. No, that's somebody filling in or what? Hi, Kate. My name is Veldine. I'm calling for Patricia Dean. The unit code is 420 Unit A.
Give me just a moment.
Okay. Let's see if they're gonna follow policy or not. Let's go get her. Let's not get her. Y'all know they take turns on what they want to do. Y'all hold. Let's see how long it is. Yeah, 2 minutes.
Okay, sorry about that. What was your name again?
My name is Belle.
Oh, okay, awesome. I just had to double check that you were on her list and everything. Okay, let me go see if she would like to speak with you, okay?
Thank you. How did she not know that I'm not on the list? I'm the number one person on the doggone list. It's only 2 of us on the list. But she do sound kind of new.
So, I just went to ask her, and she said that she would like you to call back later if it's okay.
Okay, can you have her to call back? Because that's supposed to be y'all policy unless it just changed all of a sudden. So I'm assuming you knew, but I'm her daughter, so sometimes I'm fully aware.
Okay.
But
We will have her call you later.
and then what time is she going to lunch now, or is she?
No, she's laying down.
She's just laying there. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll just call back. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Goodbye. That sounded a little weird, and I don't understand why they're not letting her, making her get up. But anywho, we still got to keep pushing on. So funny, like sometimes it feels like life is just hitting you with a ton of bricks, and people think you're supposed to bounce up like nothing happened. So yeah, hopefully you guys listened and got something out of what I stated. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna call some of my family members to encourage those loved ones, and the ones that I can, say a prayer for all of those other ones. If you guys are looking and you see me, definitely say a prayer for me, because I most definitely need it. And I'm going to get out here. Hopefully something I said it done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem.